inaugural GMB Trophy Boxing Day challenge between Castleford Tigers and Featherstone Rovers. The team lineups this afternoon: at fullback for Castleford Tigers, James Clare; on the wings, Jai Hitchcocks and Robbie Story; in the centres, Toyo Agodo and Alex Foster; halfbacks, Jamie Ellis and Jake Truman; props, James Green and Will Marr; hooker, Jack O'Neill; second row, Joe Wardle and Oliver Holmes; and loose forward, Mitch Clark. On the interchange, Corey Aston, Jesse Senni Lefau, Matt Cook, Brandon Douglas, Jack Ray and Callum Turner. Lining up for Featherstone Rovers this afternoon: at fullback is Anthony Thackeray; wings, Sean Robinson and Luke Briscoe; centres, Gareth Gale and Josh Hardcastle; halfback partnership, Martin Ridyard and Tom Holmes; at prop, Scott Wielden and Luke Cooper; hooker, Keel Carlisle; second row, Connor Farrell and John Davis; and in at loose forward is James Lockwood. On the interchange, Matty Wildy, Frankie Mariano, Brad Knowles, Sam Brooks and Danny Maskell. Head coach here is John Duffy for Featherstone Rovers, and head coach for Castleford Tigers is Darryl Powell. Sunny Boxing Day afternoon here. It's had a lot of heavy rain this morning here in Castleford, but the sun's out now, shining on the spectators here for this Boxing Day challenge. Joining me on commentary today is Joe Needley. Good afternoon, Joe.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joe. Very much looking forward to this game, Cass and Fev. It's always, hot tempers can flare, and it's always no love lost between these two historic sides of the game. But it's sure to be an exciting one, because reading through that Featherstone lineup, Joe, it could more or less could be our first team this year. We're playing against, I would say, a mix of youth and experience with Castleford Tigers as well. So, I mean, a very good test for Fev today.
It is. Centre partnership, interestingly, Featherstone Lions, Gareth Gale and Josh Hardcastle, they're partnering up in that centres. So Gareth Gale with his first game for Featherstone. Obviously we can't call it debuts because they've not actually played a league game yet, but we've got Gareth Gale in there, Sean Robinson, Martin Ridyard, looking down the list, and Danny Maskell, all turning out in Featherstone colours for the first time today.
Well, exciting times there. I mean, and what a game to make your debut in against your official arch rivals, I would say, with the Cast Tigers. But yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got a lot to offer, I would say. I mean, watching Sean Robinson last year for Swinton, I mean, he scored quite a few tries. Yes, I mean, he's a winger, he finishes them off like he's supposed to, but he did really well and he supported his pack a lot. Gareth Gale, debutant. Okay, well, we don't know much of him like at this level, but I mean, there's a chance to prove himself, and you've got to start somewhere. And then, of course, the others, Joe. I mean, Tom Holmes, he has a point to prove, as does Ridyard. I mean, and starting together a halfback, that's always a gamble, a new halfback combination. But you never know. I mean, with Ridyard there, experience, and Holmes youth, very healthy mix there, and that just could be what could take Feth forward. And then, of course, finally Scott Wielden as well, with all his experience and playing for the club once before. So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game this year, and could be a tasty one too.
Tom Holmes turning out as well in Castleford. He's just come from Castleford, so it's quite an interesting one for him to make his first game with Featherstone Rovers colours.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could receive quite a reception here today. You never know. But yeah, all the same, I mean, even watching Tom last year, I mean, I'd say the pick of his games was the Magic weekend. His 90-metre try against Leeds Rounders. Hopefully we can see more of that here. Possibly today, possibly not, but hopefully later in the season as well.
The surface out there at the jungle, it's the Menderhose jungle, it's looking quite lush out there, isn't it? Grass is quite long. It might be a little bit slippy after all the heavy rain we've got this morning, and let's hope they can hold on to the ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just makes Martin Ridyard's kicking game all the more interesting and exciting to watch, and I'm sure he'll have a field day, if you can say that, to put it bluntly. Yeah, he could have a field day with his kicking game, as could Holmes, as could any of them. But that's the main interesting aspect to watch today, really. Ridyard and his kicking on such a surface today.
Just a bit of history about this Boxing Day encounter between these two teams. They're very historic teams with lots of heritage. It does go back to 1923, and between 1923 and 1953, this game was played on Boxing Day, and it was called the Lion Cup, and it was a way of raising money for local hospitals. So quite a nice little tale about this game. It's been resurrected, it's been brought back. It's the Castleford Featherstone Boxing Day derby, and now it's the GMB trophy, and we're hoping it'll be the first of many.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you never know. We might meet them. We might meet Castle later in the year for a cup game. Who knows? But yeah, Jay, you touched on something there about how it's had a lot of meaning, this game. I mean, this one just as, if not more than the previous ones as well, the inaugural GMB trophy. So, I mean, I'm very proud to be part of such a historic game today between these two rivals as well, so it should be an exciting one.
It is, and the fact that you know, they're not in the same division anymore, these teams, they don't get to play each other that often, it does make it extra special, and it's good to see that the numbers have turned out. There's a fairly decent crowd. You know, it's Boxing Day, people have got things to do, haven't they? But there's quite a few Featherstone fans we've seen as we've been walking around in the crowd before the game, and there's quite a lot of orange and black, amber and black, should I say, out there behind the sticks.
Well, there could be plenty bleeding blue as well as black and amber. So, I mean, but yeah, looking at the crowd, very good one today. I mean, we could have up to a couple of thousand people looking around. I mean, the Featherstone fans towards our right-hand side, I mean, we're hoping they'll be in their full fan voice today behind the blue and whites as well. But Castleford, they'll probably be the same because, after all, 25 wins last year, so they'll be expecting more excitement. But, and who knows, they made this to be, well, credit Castleford, Joe. They made this place not only a fortress, as I eventually get it out, as they've come out onto the field now, but I mean, they not only made it a fortress, it was a very atmospheric place, and it could be the same today.
Certainly could. It's a bit like Featherstone, where the crowd are very close to the pitch, and players always comment on grounds like this where the crowd are sort of on top of you. Featherstone out onto the pitch now in their brand new home shirt for the 2018 season. We'll be getting used to the new players, so bear with us on commentary, and as we will the Castleford players as well, as they come out onto the pitch to cheers and music. Featherstone came out to a few boos from the Castleford fans, not unexpectedly really.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, as I said, no love lost between these two sides, but hopefully we can really cause a sting in their tails today, and leave Castleford with their tails between their legs as well.
Tigers' tails between their legs, let's hope so. So Featherstone are going to be playing, as we're looking with the camera, from left to right, towards the stand, the end without a stand. And it's going to be Martin Ridyard that kicks this game off towards Castleford. Not sure who the ref is today, actually. We've not got it down on the team sheet.
Yeah, well, I'm sure someone could come in and message it to us on Facebook.
Yeah.
You never know.
Let's hope so.
Oh, but hold on, yeah, they're gathering the players up here, yeah, they're pulling them back in.
Looks like they're going to have a line-up of some sort, or some presentation. All will be revealed. So yeah, players were all ready to kick off, but referees actually said no, you need to line up. So,
well, inaugural trophy, as we said. I mean, something special, I guess. We're about to find out. Bear with us.
Images of key moments will be burned into our memories, to be recollected in the future, told about with future generations of family and friends. Yet the break of routine that Christmas brings also reminds us of those who we've shared past moments with who are no longer with us today, and we remember them. Those who have left us many years ago, or
So sounds as though it was the chaplain there that was giving a prayer out before the game. Obviously Christmas time, a period to reflect, so that was just the break there that happened. So back on with the game now. Martin Ridyard into the centre once again, putting the ball on the kicking tee, waiting to get this GMB Trophy challenge off, as he does now. Ball kicked high into the air. It's a difficult one to take, and Castleford struggled with it. The ball went backwards, but Featherstone are up there tackling, so already Martin Ridyard causing problems, Joe.
Yeah, I think it was Jamie Ellis under that. He struggled a bit, eventually got back to it, but Feather very quick out the blocks in defence. I mean, that's a big hit by Wielden and Davies there, Joe. So yeah, very bright start for Feather. Hopefully they can keep it going.
Castleford 5 metres away from their own line then, and the ball comes into the middle. Still Featherstone tacklers in there well. Cooper in there with his head guard on. Castleford make it up to the 20 on the 4th tackle. Looks like they're going to kick. Kick comes through. That's for Anthony Thackeray to chase in his role at full-back today. Now Sean Robinson taking it forward with his trademark darting run.
Yeah, well, I mean, very good kick return there by Fev. I mean, I mentioned Sean Robinson in the build-up, as I think that's Hardcastle taking in now. But yeah, Robinson has a point to prove. He's left Swinton, he's joined a bigger club, and hopefully, I mean, he can just be one of our many scorers this year as Luke Briscoe drives it in on the 3rd. Yeah,
Luke Briscoe taking it into the Castleford half, so Featherstone made some easy meters here. It's coming now to Wielden, but that was a good hit there on Wielden by Mitch Clark, and the ball has come free, and it was a little bit slow from Featherstone, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we just might have put the mocker on them there, Joe. That's the thing with Wielden there. I mean, he wasn't expecting a big hit like that. I mean, Mitch Clark, he sized him up, flew out the line and just caught him with a very good tackle. And, yeah, well, Cass get the reward and get the ball back, as I think that's Jake Truman feeding the scrum.
It is, yeah, Jake Truman, number 26 on his back today. He's going to feed the scrum just about 5 metres inside his own half. The ball goes into the scrum, comes out the back. And it's taken forward now by Oliver Holmes. He takes it up to the halfway line. There's 4 Featherstone tacklers in there. Comes into the middle with James Green. James Green used to play for Featherstone Rovers on loan from Hull KR. Castleford's turn now to take the ball forward, and it's a penalty for a head-high shot there. Could have been James Lockwood that came up with that. He's just asking the referee.
Well, I mean, it was I would say a bit difficult to spot from here, but I mean, if he caught him high, that's fair. As Castleford elected to, I think they're going to take the tap restart. They are from 30 yard, but yeah, big test of the Featherstone defence here. Although Whelan's putting a good shot there, but another 5 to survive, Joe, as we watch on here.
Wilmar up to the 20, so as you say, yeah, they've got to survive this. James Green taking it forward now, so the prop forwards for Cass going up the middle. It's coming out to the flanks now as an inside ball, and they're getting near to that try line of Castleford. Some early pressure on that Featherstone line defence as it goes from acting dummy half there. I think it's O'Neill that's trying to go for the line, but just gets hauled down short.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Joe, just as Cass come out here, trying to pinch an early one there. There's Truman. Oh, they could be in here, Joe.
Agodo, that's a great tackle, and the ball comes free, and it's back to 1. It must have come off a Featherstone player, so Castleford are going to get another set of 6 here on that Featherstone try line. Yeah, as Marr takes it forward, he's 5 metres out.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy there, as I thought it was just a good tackle and maybe a good knocked it forwards, but the referee decided to wave it on, and Cass continued with their attack here.
Yeah, it could have been argued it was in the tackle there, but he waved it back to 1, so Castleford really testing the Featherstone defence. It's the second set of 6 that they've had to face, with Castleford hammering at the line, and there's another penalty, holding down.
Yeah, I think it was Martin Ridyard that time, a bit too slow in the tackle count, although the referee's stopping the clock now because I think Lockwood is down with and needs some treatment here. Yeah, I mean,
I think he could be just tying his lace, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it
could be a little bit of, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks so. I mean, having his laser, I think he was seen to his leg as well. I mean, he might have taken a big knock because he put in a big tackle earlier in the set, in the tackle count. So, I mean, but once again, Joe, another big test of the Featherstone defence here.
It is, yeah. So, back-to-back penalties against Featherstone, and Castleford 10 metres away from that Featherstone line. Again, goal line defence being tested. It's coming out to the right-hand side, and there's a jink there, and it looks like it's going to be a try for Mitch Clark. For Castleford, they sold the dummy and got over the line.
I think it might have been Jamie Ellis.
Was it? Sorry.
No, I mean, Jamie Ellis, it was a show and go there, Joe. I mean, I think they had the overlap anyway. I think it was 4-on-3 out there, but he showed the dummy, he fouled 2 of them, and it was fairly easy in the end because the cover tackler there, I think it was Thackeray, he just didn't have a chance there, and it was a fairly easy try for Jamie Ellis in the end as he's given the Tigers an early 4-0, could be 6-0 lead here as Ellis lands up the conversion attempt for his own try.
Yeah, apologies about that. He's got 18 on his back, hasn't he? That's what confused me.
Yeah,
it's not matching with the team sheet that we've got. So
I'll tell you who he's matching with, Mitch Clegg. He's also wearing number 18 out there as well. So I mean,
so apologies for that. We're getting really confused. Well, I'm getting really confused.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the same, though, I mean, that's the thing. This cast side, they were top of the Super League last year for nothing. And yes, it's very early. There's only 5 minutes gone in the game, but they proved that it was no fluke they were up there. They got a very good side, maybe a bit weaker today with being a friendly, but they just showed there how quick they can be, get the ball out, and just a simple show and go. And it was an easy, as I say, it's an easy try for Ellis in the end, and now he lands up the conversion. Yeah,
so Ellis just to the right of the posts with this conversion attempt shouldn't be a problem for him. It's not. So Castleford leading early in this game by 6 points to 0. Really, you could look back. It came all from that tackle by Mitch Clark on to Scott Wielden, didn't it? That Featherstone were looking pretty good up to that point. They turned the ball over, and then it was back-to-back penalties. Lots of pressure on the line, and the inevitability was that Jamie Ellis got over.
It was. I mean, unless you never know, Ridyard could come up with an inventive kick-off again here. Could cause Ellis or Truman some problems. But, yeah, I mean, it's an early blip for them there, but hopefully they can recover and we can see more of them in the game here, and hopefully another big defensive set coming up.
So Ridyard with that high kick-off again, and it's fooled Castleford once again, so it goes dead, does the ball. So great for Featherstone Rovers. They're going to get possession from this dropout.
Yeah, well, Truman's on the other side this time. I think that was Robbie Story, the winger, underneath that, and the youngster just could not, he showed no interest in the ball, to be honest. None of them did. There was about 3 of them around it, but for some reason, none of them just decided to go for the ball, and to be honest, it spiralled a bit in the air, but it could have been easily caught. But nevertheless, we're not complaining as Ellis drops this ball out, and Fev get their first attack of the game, arguably.
They do. Keil Carlisle's under that. He passes it to Scott Wielden, who drives it forward. He's over the 40, the Castleford 40, so Featherstone hopefully with this set of 6 going to get a little bit of pressure as Luke Cooper takes it forward, drives back into the place where Wielden was, but takes it a few more metres forward. He's 20 metres out from that Castleford line. Keil Carlisle in at dummy half. He gets it to Holmes, to Ridyard. Ridyard's holding it up to Thackeray. Thackeray gets it out there to the left-hand side, but the hold down of Featherstone about 8 metres out away from the line, and it comes back into Ridyard now to Lockwood. Lockwood takes it forward. Again, 8 metres out, plays a quick play of the ball, comes back to Ridyard in the middle, he shows it and then gets it to Holmes, to Thackeray. Featherstone have men over, and Luke Briscoe's going to go in at the right-hand side for Featherstone. Try time for Featherstone there.
Yeah, Joe, that was awesome play. I mean, even in the build-up before that, Ridyard and Holmes, they combined superbly there. And as I say, in the tackle before that, perhaps the ball went out a bit too soon to Robinson. That's why they managed to get out there. Story got to Robinson in the end, but then they brought it to Lockwood in the middle, tackle again, and then getting the ball out there, Joe. That was superb play. Great rugby lead there. Fast play. Luke Briscoe, superb finish in the corner, and Fev immediately right back into the game.
And what's good to see is Ridyard, Holmes, Thackeray, those 3 pivots combining together. Swung out to the left, came back to the right, try in the corner for Luke Briscoe. Great to see.
Yeah, well, awesome to see, I'd have thought. I mean, yeah, well, I mean that is exciting as well. I mean, times to come, because I mean, if we can, if the team there can produce more of that in the season, I mean, they're going to be a very tough team to stop. Even though, yes, we've got the likes of Lee and Toronto to play, but I'll tell you something: if we demonstrate and play rugby like that, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with once again. As Ridyard is Martin Ridyard, who'll be lining up the conversion. His very first in, since he's joined the club.
Yeah, first one in Featherstone Rovers colours. This conversion attempt right out on this right-hand touchline. Luke Briscoe it was who squeezed in for that try. Strikes the ball. Just gone to the right of the post, so it's Castleford Tigers 6, Featherstone Rovers 4 in this GMB Trophy derby, Boxing Day derby. Just while the players are coming back to take the kick-off, Featherstone Rovers, when we've been talking to them in pre-season, they've been eager for this game, haven't they? They've done a lot of intense preparation down there. You know, we've been talking to John Duffy the backroom staff and some of the players, and they've just all been saying we can't wait to get out there on the pitch and try out what we've been doing in training.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's just quickly, Joe, here's something we can deal with this kick-off. Richards underneath it. Yeah, gets it to Wheeldon. But yeah, they have, I mean, big hit there. But yeah, you could see there, I mean, I think that you could say that was a training move in a way, that was. I mean, the way they got it out. And this is an experiment by the Duffies today, I mean, from John, because having 3 pivots out there as Fev get their first penalty of the game now, ball strip. But yeah, it's interesting to see because, I mean, Fev always been an exciting attacking team, and now they've got, you could say, an attacking coach in John Duffy. And so, really, I mean, I would say that was surprising to see, but you could say it wasn't, because the way Fev are playing exciting rugby, they've got more than 2 primary pivots on the field, and who knows, we could just back up our trial with another one here if we can get close enough.
Yeah, so the tap's been taken 5 metres short of the halfway, just inside the Featherstone half. I think you're right about James Lockwood, you know, Joe. He's down there with a leg injury. Just been seen to in back play, but Featherstone carrying on.
Yeah, well, not good to see early doors. Lockwood, I mean, yeah, he's eager to get into the thick of the action, but maybe perhaps too much early on, because we've only just had 10 minutes played and he's already down with an injury. Hopefully no more in this game, because we need our players for the season, of course, Joe.
Wheeldon drops the ball as he tries to play it, but actually the referee's given a penalty, saying that there was a hand in there. So Featherstone with the penalty 20 metres out from that Castleford line. They're going to take the tap. Frankie Mariano enters the field for James Lockwood. It's not a good sight to see him limping off like that.
Yeah, just 10 minutes into the game, and you never know. I mean, I don't think it was his hamstring. It might have been his calf. It's hard to see from here as Mariano takes him from the tap. But yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious. But I do fear that that could be the last we see of James Lockwood today. Joseph, come on the attack now.
Yeah, Keil Carlisle going from dummy half. He gets it to Luke Cooper. That was a nice little move. Luke Cooper pulled down 3 metres short of that line. Carlisle in at dummy half once again. He gets it out to Ridyard. Ridyard holds it up. Pass goes to Gareth Gale's boots. He does well to pick up and bend down and pick it up, because he's a tall lad, is Gareth Gale. But Featherstone recover. Comes back to Ridyard again. And now to Mariano, the new entrant onto the field. His second touch of the ball. He's fighting with tussling with the 3 Castleford players, and it comes now to Scott Wheeldon. Scott Wheeldon's over the line. That was a short pass from Keil Carlisle, and Wheeldon gets over to the right-hand side of the post to put Featherstone in front in this game.
Yeah, Joe, awesome play that. I mean, rather than shifting the ball out, I mean, Featherstone have just clearly showed there. You could say more of the intense preparation has gone into play there, Joe, because instead of getting the ball out, something so simple and something so basic, but yet something so brilliant to catch Castleford off guard in such a manner for Wheeldon for a typical crash bang wallop and then try, because he beat 3 of them there. Bullet pass from Carlisle and gets over on a try in his debut for Fev, or his return for Fev. So I mean, Fev in the lead 8-6, and Joe, that was some awesome play.
And Keil Carlisle's getting involved, isn't he? Early doors, he's in everything, you know, at dummy half. He's causing quite a few problems for that Castleford defence, especially near that Castleford try line. So Ridyard with a slightly easier conversion attempt this time. It's bang in front of the sticks, more or less, just a shade to the right.
Yeah, he'd assume he'd get this one. Let's hope he does. I mean, we've seen, it's rare, but we've seen conversions miss from this position. But I've got every confidence in Ridyard. I'm sure you have too, Jersey steps up here. And
don't put mockers on him.
Yeah, we've already done that once in the game. But Ridyard, yep, converts it, and Feather into double figures, sure.
Indeed they are. It's Castleford Tigers 6, Featherstone Rovers 10 in this game. So, as I say, Featherstone Rovers into the lead for the first time after 12 minutes of play.
Yeah, let's hoping they can keep up. You never know. Extend their lead. Dare to dream, I should say there. But no, you never know. Castleford might come up with something here, because Jamie Ellis, with his experience, he can be a bit funny with his kick-offs as well, because, and let's not forget, he did finish up the top point scorer in the championship, so he clearly knows what he's doing as well. So yeah, I mean, hopefully Fev, we can deal with this and hopefully keep our momentum going, Joe, as Ellis kicks us off.
That's a difficult one for Holmes to take, but he takes it well behind his own line and then gives it to Wheeldon, who takes it forward 10 metres away. He makes a full 10 metres, and he's another one who's been getting involved a bit. Now it comes to John Davis. Up to the 20. I
was going to say, Joe, I've lost count with the amount of times Wheeldon has had carries, to be honest. I mean, he must have had at least half a dozen, so clearly excited, isn't he?
He is, yeah, wanting to get in the action, and Hardcastle now has the ball, gets tackled, and it comes out to Wheeldon once again, to Luke Cooper. Interchange there between the 2 prop forwards, Wheeldon and Cooper. Cooper's 10 metres short of that halfway line, and now it comes to Ridyard across to Thackeray. They're giving it some width for Featherstone. It goes to Gareth Gale, who gets over the halfway line. last tackle the referee's showing. Oh, it's a bit of a high pass from dummy half for Ridyard to take. He does well though, and eventually gets the kick away, but it's probably not the one that he planned, and it goes straight down the throat of James Clare, who takes it up to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, a bit of a panic. I mean, although I don't hurl that against Ridyard, I mean, he was left with nowhere to go really there. I mean, it was a poor pass to him in fairness, but Ridyard did well to recover and get the kick away. I mean, it could have been worse, could have turned over on halfway. Castleford work it out now, would you?
Yep, so they're taking it forward. Castleford still in their own half. Davis in with a good tackle there with Hardcastle. That was on Jai Hitchcock, the former Featherstone Rovers player.
As well, Cass coming over halfway now. I mean, they're starting to get a bit of momentum, but Featherstone's defence is still rather solid now after the early blip they had there. As Truman puts in a kick here, it is hoping they can deal with this one as well. First high kick.
Briscoe it is who takes it. He's under it, and Castleford are actually offside, so that's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. A little bit too eager with the Castleford chasers on that kick. I think it was Jai Hitchcock, so he's shaking his head at the ref, but the ref says, no, mate, you weren't giving him the 10. As the ball just shades us here on the gantry as Tom Holmes kicks for touch, and Featherstone are going to get the tap. So the tide's turned a little bit. It's a bit all blue and white at the moment.
It is. I mean, Featherstone really are on top at the moment. I mean, it's fair play to them. Castleford too eager, as we say, from the high kick there from Truman. And, well, we're not complaining, of course. But, yeah, I mean, very eager with the defence there. They're all four of them in on Wealdon in a flash there. But you never know. I mean, they've already shown the quick with the ball. And that's only the second tackle, although Wealdon's lost the ball, so there won't be any attacks.
I think it was that where he's perhaps showing a little bit of fatigue as well. He's been involved in so much as Scott Wealdon, but there were 4 tackles, and it was quite an intense tackle that Castleford put in there, wasn't it, on Wealdon? And unfortunately, he's turned the ball over fairly early in the tackle count as well. Not something we'd be wanting to do, and I know that that'll be something that John Duffy's looking at this year. Is a much better completion rate than that Featherstone Rovers should be having, because last season that was one of the issues that they had to deal with, but that's an error. It's up to how the defence cope with this now.
It is. I mean, I think they're lining up Wealdon because they clearly see him as the danger man in the pack there. I mean, well, he looks the biggest one from here, doesn't he? So, I mean, looks the most dangerous one anyway. But yeah, but the fact is, though, yeah, they've lined up Wealdon there, and as we said, they haven't lined yet. Hopefully they can sort out in pre-season the set completion rate, because as we mentioned, it's always crucial in rugby league, and it will be today as well as the rest of the season. But Fev on the blind side again. Could have been a hidden obstruction there, Joe. I don't know what your thoughts on that play was.
No, it was Jamie Ellis, wasn't it, that passed it, but referees said play on, so Castleford 15 metres out, and it comes now to Will Maher. But that's good tackling from Tom Holmes. He's up quickly, and Hardcastle and Davis come to help out and push the Castleford player back another 10 metres. So that was O'Neill that they pushed back. So Castleford, having lost a little bit of ground there, they're having to bring it back, and Davis is in there knocking the Castleford player to the floor. He's wanting to get involved as the referee shows the last tackle. The kick's going to come in. It's off the left-hand side of the boot, but Thackeray does well. He collects it in front of his sticks, and he gets tackled 5 metres away from his own line.
Well, superb play there by both sides, I'll say there, Joe, because I mean, John Davies very enthusiastic to get in the tackle there, and he certainly felt it as well, did Joe Wardle. Castleford's signing from the Newcastle Knights, returning here. But then, yeah, true, you see, I mean, Cass did lose a bit of momentum, but that was quite a delicate kick put in by Truman, but well recovered by Thackeray, who worked away with it. So very good play by both sides on show there as Luke Briscoe tries to get it forward.
It was, and so this is a first game between two teams. It's got quite a lot going for it, hasn't it? You know, it's a really interesting game to watch. There's a lot going on out there, and both sides don't look that rusty, but it's the last tackle. Featherstone have been contained in their own half. The kick comes from Ridyard. He dissects between the winger and the full back, but it's Jai Hitchcock that does pick it up, and John Davis is in on him. And he, with Josh Hardcastle, he's tackled 25 metres away from his own line.
Well, I mean, that was a much improved kick by Ridyard there. I mean, he put it right into space, forcing the Tigers to chase back for it. Although Castleford are making good ground up here towards halfway, and they made good ground on the return, so in fairness to Hitchcock, they did quite well. But yeah, I mean, yet again, Fev, that's a much improved set, is that? Especially since Castleford had us penned back fairly back in our half. So yeah, very good play by Rovers again.
So Castleford just into the Featherstone half now. I think it's on the fourth tackle, is that? So bring it out to the right-hand side. with James Green. He gets the ball away and tackle comes in 20 metres out by Luke Cooper, and it's the last tackle, so the kick's going to come from Ellis. It's a delicate dink over the top, but it is taken well, but Featherstone are driven behind their own try line and the dropout's going to come. So good play by Castleford there. It was a nice kick from Jamie Ellis and caused a few problems.
Well, even in the build-up there, I mean, I'll say it quickly, fantastic tackle by Cooper to bring down Ollie Holmes, because, I mean, he had James Green on the inside. He could have got in a pass on the inside and Green would have been under the post. It was a walk-in, but Cooper did well. But then Thackeray did well to tie up the kick, but once again, it was a fantastic kick to him. And then Castleford with their strong defence. I mean, I think Fev and Thackeray have felt that, because Thackeray needed a bit of attention there in the background. So I think he felt the hit. And Featherstone are really feeling this, but hopefully we can, produce a strong defensive set, as we've seen so many times from Featherstone in the past, and survive this onslaught.
Yeah, just a small stoppage in play there. I think John Davies needed a bit of attention as well. I think it was when he came in before with that hard tackle when he dropped the Castleford player to the ground. I think he cut his head a little bit, so a referee says he needs to have some attention paid to that before the dropout takes place. It's a chance for some of the players to take on some water as well, so just seeing how long's been gone in this game so far. Coming up to the 20-minute mark, Featherstone in the lead.
I'll say quickly, Joe Walden needed some water down there following Davies' big hit on him as well. So, but yeah, I mean,
both players felt it, I think, Joe.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, Featherstone leading by 10 points to 6 here. It's we're on the 20-minute mark. John Davies, it looks like it's going to get. Is he getting some strapping on his head there? It's a nice adornment for him, isn't it? That.
Yeah. Well, could be a good luck charm for him today, Davies. Looking like a headband on him, but yes.
Yeah, he's getting plenty of strapping round his head there. Castleford fans getting a little bit impatient behind the sticks and wanting the game to carry on.
Well, I mean, come on, Castleford, they've got to be fair. I mean, part-time club, aren't we? I mean, we do need a bit more attention. You're full-timers, of course. Come on, be fair. As Ridgeyard dropped us out.
So that dropout, it's a bit of a mistake by Castleford. It went over the halfway line. I think two Castleford players were leaving it to each other to collect that, and neither of them did in the end. But they've recovered, get tackled 5 metres into their own half, even as James Green takes it forward.
Yeah, it was a very good kick again. I mean, it's outside for Castleford. I think, that did look a touch forward, that pass, but it's waved away. And the pass has gone to ground. I think it could be all on this, as Briscoe he's done very well in defence, but he gets the ball away to Hitchcocks. But Featherstone, very good in defence there. But yes, the referee has waved all on. Yeah. But they're still in their own half, so there's a positive. Still very good defending by Fev.
Jai Hitchcock's trying to milk a penalty there. He was all over Briscoe, but referee says no. But yeah, it came off a Featherstone player, did that when the ball went to ground, so the referee has waved the tackle count clean. So Castleford just inside the Featherstone half, bringing it forward with Mitch Clark. Or is that Jamie Ellis? It's Mitch Clark, isn't it? They've both got 18 on the back. It's really confusing, this. That looked a very flat pass.
And he gets the ball away as well.
To O'Neill. Gareth Gale in with a good tackle there on Oliver Holmes out on that right-hand side.
Yeah, it was a very good hit there, but I would say a centre on a second row, it's something more. I mean, Gale, he just measured up Holmes there and he put in a very good tackle, but danger's not over yet here for Featherstone. I mean, so some more big tackling to come up here.
15 metres out they are, Castleford, and it comes to Jamie Ellis, and the ball goes to ground, and that's a good tackle by Sean Robinson. It's actually a knock-on, so there's going to be a scrum about 12 metres away from the Featherstone line. Featherstone defence did well there, got up on Castleford, forced Jamie Ellis.
Well, much of the applause of our Featherstone faithful towards our right-hand side who cheered at that, but yeah, it was brilliant tackling. I mean, that time they just gave Ellis no room at all. I mean, they just did give him the time as well, because I mean, following his earlier try, they just couldn't. They couldn't really risk it, could they, Joe? I mean, they were risking an overlap by going in on Ellis, but well done to Featherstone again. Some solid defending there, and really gave Castleford something to think about as Featherstone make 3 substitutions there. Yeah,
the Featherstone front row have all left the field. So Wheeldon, Carlisle, Cooper have left the field. On is Brad Knowles, Sam Brooks, and I'm just trying to find the third. Matty Wildy it is that's come on for Keele Carlisle, so he'll go into that hooking role. So triple substitution for Featherstone Rovers as they've got the ball in hand. That's Connor Farrell as well out there by the looks of it, who's lost the ball unfortunately, so not the best first touch for him out there on that left-hand side.
Yeah, it looked like a big hit from Oliver Holmes, that one. I think that caused the ball to be dislodged, although it went backwards. I think he lost it forwards first, maybe onto Holmes, then it went backwards. So I think, and Holmes isn't contesting it either. So yeah, I think he's got the call correct there as the referee, despite the way the ball came out. And it's unfortunate that for Featherstone, but hopefully, I mean, once again, I've been saying it repeatedly all game, another big test of the Featherstone Rovers defence here, but I'm confident that they can survive. It's open with both, can't it, Joe?
So Castleford with the put in at the scrum on the Castleford 40-metre line. It's coming across the left-hand side. John Davis with a good tackle low down there. Comes to James Green now, unmistakable figure. He's put to the floor 25 metres away from the line, and Jesse Senelefau is on the pitch. I think that's what the big cheer was for. That's his first touch. And ball's taken forward now. 10 metres away are Castleford from that Featherstone line, and Agodo's in at dummy half. Comes into the middle with Joe Wardle. Last tackle the referee's showing. Wardle plays the ball 8 metres out. Comes to Jamie Ellis. He's going to put a crossfield kick across to the Featherstone left-hand corner. It's taken well by Robinson, and he's took it in the... He's got a tackle behind his try line, actually. I thought he'd taken it in the field of play, but he must have just got a force back. So he's going to be a dropout. Castleford forcing a second set.
Well, no disrespect to Robinson here, but I would say for a man who's rather small, he did very well under the circumstances claiming that high ball there. Although it was in the field of play, but I mean, that was just the precision of the kick, really, wasn't it? So, but yeah, again, Fev, some strong defending. Even the one before that, Truman is looking dangerous down this left-hand side, but Davis putting a big hit on him, finished off by Matty Wiley. And will this ball bounce again? No, they collect this one this time, much to the jeers of the Castleford fans as they run it back.
It's their own fans as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Bears hoping Fev can survive once again, Joe.
Yeah, so James Green making a lot of metres forward there. The first 2 tackles that Castleford have had there, they've driven forward 30 or 40 metres from that dropout. Jamie Ellis showing the ball now, and it's a short pass. Castleford coming forward with Alex Foster. He gets tackled a few metres away from that line. The referee's just having a look to see what's going on in the tackle. Nothing, it's play on, so it's coming across to the left-hand side now, showing some width. It goes, misses Agodo out, goes to Jai Hitchcox. He's a strong character, is Jai, and he's going for that try line, but just gets pushed back by the 3 Featherstone tacklers. Agodo tries to go himself from dummy half.
Oh, I think he's got this down, Jazzy. Yeah, the referee's giving it, Joe. So, I mean, yeah, Castleford, they're all level there. It's a good, he did, just a show and go from acting half and barged over, beating 4 of them. It was unfortunate because I thought the Fev defence, I mean, it was great scrambling defence, great sliding defence to stop Jai Hitchcox initially. But then Agodo, I think he just took advantage of the disarray in defence by Fev there, John. Even though there was 4 of them there, I mean, he just pinched a quick one, and I'll say credit to him because you take what you can get in this game, and Castle all level again.
Yeah, just caught them napping a little bit. Like you say, they'd tackled Jai Hitchcox. They were just getting ready to set themselves up again, and Agodo came with a quick play from dummy half and squeezed over that line out on this left-hand side to square the points up. It's 10-all here at the Menderhurst Jungle. Jamie Ellis with a conversion attempt just inside this left-hand touch line.
Yeah, well, it's on his correct side as well. So a bit further out, but on his correct side for last season's top point scorer as well. So, but yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, Fev, it's still encouraging. I'd say it's still an encouraging 26 minutes of played here now because. Yeah, in defence, they really have given Castleford something to think about. I would say forcing Castleford into these, even though it's friendly, it's an experimentary game, but they're forcing Castleford into these cut-out passes and offloading as well, which is encouraging to see from what could be considered a part-time club. And Ellis's conversion has gone wide, and well, no disrespect, but that attempt was rather lacklustre, wouldn't you agree?
It was a little bit, yeah, but it means that the scores do remain all square, 10-all here at the Menderhurst Jungle. So Featherstone coming forward with Martin Ridyard to get the game going again.
You never know. I mean, they might catch this one as well, and if they do, do we await an applause from the crowd? We're about to find out, fans. Don't go anywhere. You could hear an ironic cheer in a moment.
Looks like he's going to go the other way, is he? No, I'm just trying to see. No, he's going to go the way before, so let's see if it's another carbon copy. Can they deal with it better? Yes, they do, Castleford, and there's the ironic cheers that you predicted, Joe.
And it's a big hit, and Featherstone are penalised immediately. Oh, it's starting, Joe.
Little bit of Boxing Day scuffle. It's not called Boxing Day for nothing, is it?
Well, I mean, why not? Boxing Day by name, Boxing Day by nature, as we agree there. But I think it was Gareth Gale who's been penalised for the big hit there. And I think, was it on the wing of Robbie Story, or was it? I'm trying to figure who
caught the ball.
On.
I think it was Story who caught the ball out there, wasn't it? He dealt with Ridyard's kick-off much better than he has done the previous 2 attempts, but referee wants to have a chat, let's say, with people out there. Gareth Gale's being called out.
Well, I would say it's not Featherstone's first hard tackle of the game. It's his first hard tackle of the game, Gareth Gale. So, but it looked to be dangerous. And after all, I think the referee had to have a way because he did cause a scrap, a bit of a scuffle there, didn't it? So
he did.
So rightfully so, have a word and penalty. But hopefully, yet again, another test of Featherstone's defence. I've lost count with how many times I've said that now. But yeah, another test of Featherstone's defence here as Castleford look to turn the screw. They
do, yeah. So they're going to put this kick in with Jamie Ellis into touch. It goes into touch just before, so 10 metres before the halfway line.
Not 10 minutes.
No, I don't know why I keep saying minutes and metres. So the ball's taken forward by Castleford on that first tackle. That's good tackling, good defence by Featherstone though. Connor Farrell in there with Wildy. Castleford take it, drive it over that halfway line. That was a good drive forward. And they're playing with a quick play the ball. Coming into the middle with Joe Wardle.
Yeah, I was going to say they're really starting to speed it up now, Joe. The Castleford, they're sending Lafau, but yeah, and again, they really are speeding it up, and they could be through here.
8 metres away from that line. Quick play the ball once again, and O'Neill's dodging around, but Mariano has the measure of him. It's the last tackle. Can Featherstone survive this? The 5 metres out of Castleford, and it comes to Jamie Ellis. He's going to put a little dinky kick in. Anthony Thackeray takes it well, gets the ball away as well in the process, and Featherstone are away. And there's an ankle tap there, but Featherstone were away there, Joe.
It was very inventive play, very risky play by Anthony Thackeray, but I don't think O'Neill was on side, but Fev could be away again here, and they're doing really well. They've got all the momentum here, Fev. That was Sean Robinson, but that was superb back play by Thackeray. Gareth Gale nearly away. If he was an ankle tap, would have been a certain try.
Was Tom Holmes now to John Davis. John Davis brings it back into the middle of the field, gets around Wardle. The ball's flung out to Martin Ridyard. Ridyard gets it back on the inside to Sam Brooks. Brooks gets finally put down to the floor by Sonny Lafau. Wildy in at dummy half. It comes to Ridyard. Ridyard to Thackeray on that left-hand side. Thackeray swings in the tackle and turns round, passes it to Wildy. Wildy's showing behind him, and Sam Brooks now takes it 10 metres away from the line. Featherstone still with a couple of tackles left in the bag here. It comes to Tom Holmes. Holmes shows it. It goes, and it comes to Josh Hardcastle. Not able to get...
We apologise for the loss of commentary there. Joe, take us back to just what's happened.
So, yeah, there was... Josh Hardcastle had the ball in hand. He was tackled just before the line, and there is actually a knock-on, but it's a Featherstone putting at the scrum 10 metres away from that line. So, yeah, apologies about the loss in sound. Not sure what happened there, but we're back on again. All right.
We're back
on again. Sorry about this. Just got some power issues. So we're back on. 10 metres away from the line. Holmes feeds a scrum. Wildy out the back. It gets to Ridyard.
We apologise for that sound as well if you heard that. The computer starting up
Windows,
anyway.
Yeah. So 10 metres away. It comes now to Mariano. Mariano drives it towards the line. He'd like to get over this try line against his former club with Frankie Mariano, but he doesn't. He plays the ball. Wildy now. Poor pass from dummy half. Ridyard not able to catch it, but it's actually a penalty against Castleford for offside. They crept over that try line when the ball was being played. There's some boos from the Castleford fans, but Featherstone are going to get another set of 6 here.
Well, the play the ball there, Joe, was Rush. I think he might have got that one right, because I don't think not all of them had 2 feet on the land. That goes without saying. So I think the referee has got that right, and Fev, rightfully so, have got a penalty and could regain the lead here.
Wildy passes it there to Sam Brooks. He's driving towards the line. In at dummy half once again. Wildy to Holmes. Holmes to Thackeray. That link again, but Josh Hardcastle puts the ball to the ground early in the tackle count. It's an error from Featherstone Rovers there, and a real let-off for Castleford.
It is, because Castleford's defence was on the rack there. With respect, because they were getting the ball out, and Briscoe could have had his second try of the game if they got the ball out. But Hardcastle just unfortunately couldn't keep hold of possession. And Featherstone on the defensive again. But again, some more encouraging play there, Joe, because we just had some very good attack in the build-up to all that. Wouldn't you agree? Because we went 100 metres.
Certainly did, yeah. There's a good couple of breaks. There's Castleford's turn to make a mistake now, and surely that was offside, I think, though, because Agodu had knocked it on, and Jai Hitchcock's picked it up in an offside position for me, but the referee wants to talk to the touch judge.
Well, let's see what the referee's going to pick up. I think he's going to go to the scrum, although, you see, I think in law they have got that call wrong, because, Agodu he knocked it back first, then it went forwards,
yeah.
and it was Hitchcock who was actually in front when he made contact with the ball and when Agodu knocked on, so... It's Featherstone's ball, that goes without saying, but it should have been a penalty, not a scrum, so unfortunately the match officials have, on a technicality, have got that call wrong.
Yeah, but like you say, Featherstone have still got possession, so Ridyard now gets that ball out, and I think it's Josh Hardcastle there that's taking it forward in the middle of the field, about 25 metres away from that Castleford line, so a chance for Featherstone to have a go again. Connor Farrell now out on that left-hand side, the second rower, 20 metres out. Wildy waiting patiently at dummy half. Comes into the middle to Ridyard. Ridyard's showing it quite a bit to Holmes. Holmes to Davis. It was a very flat pass. In fact, I think it could have been forward, and the referees called it as forward as well. I thought myself it was a very flat pass at the very best.
Yeah, even from here, I think that it was a touch forward, and unfortunately Featherstone have just surrendered possession, and it goes back to what we were saying earlier, Joe, about incomplete sets and how it could be crucial.
Yeah, and I'd say that Featherstone started the game really well in terms of completion rates, but it's kind of just crept in a little bit, hasn't it? I can't remember the last time that they completed a set and they got that kick in on the last tackle, so it's perhaps something that they'll need to talk about in that changing room at half-time. It is 7 minutes to the half-time interval. It's still 10-10 here at the Menderhose Jungle Stadium.
Well, just on that tackle there, the pass to Oliver Holmes, that pass could have been dodgy. That looked just as flash, so but waved away as James Green takes him. Yeah, Featherstone, Castleford trying to make the meters here, but Fev still fairly solid in defence, and hopefully can stay out this half. He's
a good player, James Green. He's caused quite a lot of issues all afternoon for Featherstone, and I do remember him when he turned out in Featherstone colours. Always plays well, does Green. He's a good signing for Castleford. So that man Green once again in the middle gets it to Ellis. They're showing it some width here. Castleford out to that right-hand side, and Alex Foster taking it forward and gets the ball away, and that's a try for Castleford.
It is. I think it's Jamie Ellis who's gone in for his second try, and it is. I would say, unfortunately, I thought we weathered out the attack there, because they got the ball out. Gareth Gale managed to line up Foster out there, but Foster just shrugged him off, went past 2 or 3 of them, then he found Ellis in support, who scores his second try, and unfortunately Featherstone, they worked out what was going on, but they just couldn't execute it properly in defence. Well, it's still the first half, still anything can happen, but Castleford, they have the lead back, obviously.
Yeah, it was a couple of good drives from James Green in the middle, wasn't it? And then it got out to Alex Foster, and like you say, Gareth Gale, he was in front of him, but he just couldn't get hold of Foster. He's a strong player, is Alex Foster, again, another one that we've seen in Featherstone colours in the past, and he did well, and Jamie Ellis was backing up well and got over for his second, so he's looking to convert this. Castleford 14-10 in the lead now with about 5 minutes left to the half-time interval.
Yeah, well, I would say back onto one of our soundings there, Gareth Gale. Mixed feelings at the minute. I mean, he has a point to prove, debutant obviously, but he started off well in attack and defence. But there, I think that was you could say that was his first mistake, which was unfortunate, even though we are allowed one now and again. But it was a shame, really, because I thought from up here he had Foster tackled it. I thought it was going to be easy, but unfortunately, I let him go through and second try. Hopefully, I mean, that's an area he can work on in the meantime.
It is as Jamie Ellis comes to strike this conversion. It is successful, so that puts Castleford 6 points ahead by 16 points to 10. Like I say, 5 minutes roughly to 4.5 minutes left to half time now.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Fev, you never know, we could come up with something here in the last few minutes of this half. Ridyard with another spiralling high bomb, who knows? But because I mean, he's got plenty of youngsters to pick from and to test, and we'll see here.
Well, it's always been eventful as the Ridyard kickoffs. We've had sort of like 2 errors and a little bit of a scuffle, but this one is actually taken cleanly by Castleford, and they take it up to the 20-metre line. So a very uneventful kickoff from Ridyard this time.
Oh, what a spoil sport, eh, Joe?
Featherstone defensing well there. 3 players in that tackle.
Well, I don't think Green liked the attention there, but then again, they have to get into him because Green has arguably been Castleford's top meter maker with these hit-ups. Fev knew they knew they had to get into him properly there. Oh, what a ball that was!
Sonny Lefau with a fantastic pass. Cut open the Featherstone defence. Joe Wardle it was that got the ball away, and Castleford up to the 10-metre mark, and that was great play by Castleford. And Featherstone sort of in broken play now. They're having to scramble the defence back. They do. It's the last tackle. Castleford a couple of metres out. It comes out to Sonny Lefau and gets it to Agodu, but Agodu's in touch, and they thought they were overdid Castleford, but that was great tackling by the Featherstone defence to put Agodu into touch as he tried to go for that try.
Well, I think that was Hardcastle and Luke Briscoe with a try-saving tackle there. I mean, I think it was Briscoe in there, and I'll say this. Luke, you could say he arguably mimicked his older brother's talents that Tom did. Who could forget what Tom did in the Hull Derby all them years ago? And Luke you could say, did the same on Agodo there, Joe. We'll just say that's better, considering how big a guy Agodo is. But yeah, they did very well there. I mean, they tried the blindside option there. Sonny Lefau was trying his little tricks, but yeah, very good scrambling defence there as well. I mean, even on Wildy, to stop Jake Truman there, because it was 4-on-3. Truman, bit of ball greed and just trying to go for the line. But yeah, Featherstone did very well in defence and coming away with the ball as Harry Walden, rightfully so.
That's it, yeah. It's important because it would have put Castleford 2 scores ahead as well, and it's nice to go into that half-time interval just 1 score behind. So Featherstone with the ball in hand now. It's a quick play of the ball. Thackeray in at dummy half, and he's going for a little dart forward. He gets the ball away, but Featherstone are brought to the ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could have been a bit of a high shot, but I think the referee got it right on the shoulder. Otherwise, I mean, everyone would have been appealing, wouldn't they, as the ball comes out to Ridyard. Oh, it's another high one, Joe. Is this going to be uneventful, or we'll find out?
No, it's taken well there by James Clare at full-back.
Yeah, again, another spoil sport.
15 metres away from their own line of Castleford as they're bringing it forward. 1.5 minutes left to the half-time interval. Jai Hitchcock's now with the ball. He runs into the tackle of Brooks and Mariano.
Yeah, great defending again as well by Feather. Oh, but they've conceded a penalty, so Castleford will have one last to have this half, Joe.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit extra there. Oh, the ball's not made touch though. Briscoe does well from that kick from Castleford. The penalty attempt, it was an error from them. Briscoe with a high tackle on Briscoe there as he takes it over the halfway line. Yeah,
it was Jamie Ellis, the villain there, I'll say. But, well, I stand corrected, Joe. It's not one last hurrah for Castleford. It's going to be one last hurrah for Featherstone. And just doesn't that make our great game all the more beautiful and interesting to watch?
It certainly does, especially when Featherstone have the ball in hand, Joe. So, Featherstone... Yes. 15 metres away with this tap, 15 metres away from the Castleford line. One last attempt for them to get over. Let's square things up before the half-time interval, lads. Come on, Matty Wildy is going to take this tap, just waiting for the extra ball to leave the pitch. John Davis with that strapping on his head, taking it forward. 11 metres away from the Castleford line. Wildy in at dummy half. Gets it into the middle to Sam Brooks, who drops the ball under no pressure whatsoever. Oh, Sam.
Commentary case again, Joe. Said it'd be one last hurrah for Featherstone. I mean, it's an anticlimactic one, I'm afraid, and there might be time for a Castleford one here. Who knows? Hopefully, Fev can keep it solid there as we approach the last 10 seconds.
Jesse Senilafau causing some problems for Featherstone out there. He's keeping the ball alive every time he gets it. He's such a strong player, so that's a player that they'll have to watch in the second half. As the half-time hooter goes here at the Mendehoes Jungle Stadium, it is Castleford Tigers 16, Featherstone Rovers 10. Quite an eventful first half, plenty of tries coming for both sides. It was Jamie Ellis that went in first for a try, and he converted it himself to put Castleford 6-0 ahead after only 8 minutes of play, but Featherstone responded very quickly with Luke Briscoe. 2 minutes later got the try. It was unconverted, but then Scott Wielden got over again 2 minutes later for a try, which Rudyard did convert, and that put Featherstone into a 10-6 lead. Quite a gap then. Play was going from one side to the other, but eventually Castleford broke that deadlock, and Igodu got over for a try to square things up. And then later on in the half, it was Jamie Ellis who went in for his second try and converted it to put Castleford 16 points to 10 in the lead. Featherstone with that try-saving tackle late on in that half as well, which just did keep it at 16 points to 10. So, what do you think of that first half then, Joe, yourself?
Very entertaining half, we'll say that. 5 tries, so plenty of action to pick from, and a few penalties and a couple of scuffles as well. But yes, very interesting half that, because Fev, they really are showing that they can match these, even it is a friendly, and Castleford are a bit under strength, but Fev demonstrated some rugby league out there that they can match anyone on the day. So, based on that, just them 40 minutes alone, Joe, I think Featherstone are in for another exciting season in the Championship, because, not many will match the speed and tenacity of which Featherstone are playing, especially based on that half there.
And Featherstone, they've got this combination, the new combination, Holmes and Rudyard in at the half-back partnership, Thackeray in at full-back, trying that out today. In attack, it's looked pretty positive. There's been some bits where the sets of sixes haven't been completed as the coaches would want them to be, but it still showed some promise, and you can see that perhaps the potential of Featherstone Rovers this season with those combinations.
Oh, definitely. They've got plenty of attacking options to pick from as well, Joe, because, even Thackeray, despite being a fullback, he's becoming heavily involved in the action there. With respect, just as much as Rudyard, I would say that as well, because... and that is, that's the headache selection that Duffy is left with this year between them three. But a very good selection headache as well, because plenty to pick from, and plenty of attacking options also to surprise a few clubs as well.
Certainly is. We're going to take a break now, so we shall be back with the second half commentary in about 5 to 10 minutes whenever the teams come back out onto the pitch. So grab yourself a Boxing Day drink and join us in a few minutes. Featherstone Rovers back out for this second half at the Mendehoes Jungle in Castleford. Castleford leading, don't forget, by 16 points to 10 going into the half-time interval. Just waiting for the Castleford team to take to the field. Just trying to see out there, Joe, if there's been any interchanges made while they've been having the half-time interval. I can't see any at the moment, but carry on talking, I'll have a look.
Well, I'm finding it a bit difficult. For a moment I thought Davies wasn't on, but we must remember he has got his headband on, so a new piece of uniform, you could say, for him today. So.
New headwear.
Yeah.
Castleford now come out onto the pitch as well, so we'll all be set up for this second half imminently.
Well, I'll say it quickly, Joe. It's sure to be an entertaining second half. You would think being the Super League side, Cass might stretch away, but however, that's not forced to be, because Cass also, again, I hope people don't take this comment the wrong way, but with them being Super League and wanting to live up to last year, I'll say quickly about Cass, they might save themselves, and for later in the pre-season. But as well as that, you can expect great resistance from Featherstone again, as we saw in the half. I mean, I was singing praises of all 3 pivots for Featherstone out there, and they did really well. And you never know. I mean, probably the same is going to happen again in this half from Fev. You can expect great resistance. They'll be nice and enthusiastic as Cass kick off here, and hopefully, Fev, another strong half is up for grabs here as we begin the second half.
Yeah, so Featherstone taking the ball forward just short of the 10-metre line with Frankie Mariano. Comes to Sam Brooks now. Good Castleford defence though, in quickly on Brooks. He's 15 metres away from his own line, and in at dummy half is Wildy to Connor Farrell. Featherstone just going up in sort of like 5-metre bursts here at the moment with these first 3 tackles in this set. Wildy coming down that left-hand side, and he gets it to Gareth Gale. Gay's tackled just short of halfway. Wildy to Ridyard. There's some quick play the balls in this set. Taken forward by Sam Brooks. Just into the Castleford half. Ridyard with the kick. High up into the air. It's going to be missed actually, first of all. But it's regathered. I think that was James Clare that was underneath it and misjudged. The Ridyard kick is causing some real problems with his high bombs or his high kicks today. Is Martin Ridyard? I don't know if he's putting a backspin on them or what, but they're just not dealing with them very well at Castleford.
No, well, I mean, Clare there, guilty once again is Clare. Well, I would say unfortunately for Castleford. But yeah, I mean, Ridyard, his kicking has been superb today. I mean, he's had the one kick where Clare caught it immediately, but even there, I mean, he's causing some problems, is Ridyard, and yet again, Clare, he actually nearly knocked that on. He just took his fingertips away from the ball, and as Castleford try and break here, that's a very good tackle by Brooks in the end, and that'll be the last. But yeah, Joe, Featherstone, they finished the set very well then. Hopefully they can do the same here as Thax tries to get this kick.
Yeah, it was a good break that, wasn't it? Up to that halfway line by Matt Cook, and it was the 5th tackle there, so Castleford put the kick away. Featherstone deal with it well. They're 5 metres away from their own line though, so they're going to have to bring it out from deep within their own half. It's a quick play the ball, and there's a penalty to Featherstone going to come because the markers weren't stood square by Castleford, so Featherstone going to get an opportunity to get out of being deep within their half.
Well, it's a very relieving penalty that, Joe, because I mean, Wildy did really well to spot it, but Castleford's defence was looking a bit solid, and Fev a bit slow coming back. Oh, how precise was that kick from Rid? We've been praising Ridyard's kicking all game, and that is a first. He's actually trapped the ball on the roof there, Joe. That's incredible.
Somebody will have to get the ladders to get that up out of the guttering of the roof here at Castleford. It's not the most modern of stands, is it? So I think it's a wonder it hasn't brought it down, actually. Am I allowed to say that?
A bit controversial, that, Joe.
It's all right. We're Rovers TV. I think we're okay. We're safe. So Wildy gets the ball to Tom Holmes now. Out to the right-hand side. It comes. It's a good tackle from Castleford, though. 15 metres away from that Castleford line are Featherstone as the ball comes back into the middle with Ridyard. He shows it. Eventually gets it away there to Sam Brooks. Sam Brooks is 15 metres out, and it comes back to Ridyard again. Gets it to Holmes. Holmes to Sean Robinson, who faces up against his opposite number. He gets the ball away to Gale. He did well because he was going into touch, and the ball's been stolen by Castleford away from Gareth Gale.
Well, I mean, many things happening at once there, Joe. Yeah. Robinson looked like he was going to score. It was a great tackle there by the youngster out there. I think it was Robbie Story with a great tackle there, but then he just managed to smuggle the ball away there, did Robinson, and then Gale had the ball stripped one-on-one by Ollie Holmes. So good. I mean, a lot of things happening there all at once, but Castleford, I mean, this is a good defending by Fair, because Castleford still, and that could have been an obstruction. Oh, hang on there, Joe, they've broken here, have they?
They have the go away to Agodu, and then it goes to Hitchcox, who dances around. He gets the ball back away to Senilafau, who started that off there. Castleford looked to be going nowhere. Eventually they got it out to the left-hand side, but Featherstone wrap them up. Brandon Douglas it is, a couple of metres short of the halfway line, and Castleford now just get over that halfway into their own half, but it is the last tackle. So a mixture there of the Featherstone defence doing well, but then Castleford managed to break them a little bit. The kick comes in on the last. It's taken well, though, by Luke Briscoe.
Yeah, he did very well there, Joe. I mean, that was a spiralling high kick as well. But once again, good recovery there by Fev. It was just such a shame that they just let Zenny Lafau dictate the play back there, because they were defending really well. They had Castleford standing still. Fev were really giving them something to think about there. And they are doing now with some good hit-ups here. But yeah, it's still a lot to play for this game, Joe. And as I say, Fev, they're still well in this and could really pull off a win today.
John Davis gets the ball out the back door to Tom Holmes. He gets it out once again to Rudyard. To Rudyard. I'll get them right in a minute. Gareth Gale now in some space. Gareth Gale opens his legs up. He's going to go for that line. Gareth Gale's going to go in for the first try for Featherstone Rovers. Well done, Gareth Gale. That was a great try by Featherstone to get in there, and it's level. Well, it's 16 points to 14.
Yeah, Joe, that was superb play. A fantastic sidestep there by Gale. He showed the dummy. He showed it to Robinson on the wing, but then he dummied and managed to beat, I think it was Alex Foster who managed to beat there, so he's returned the favour there from the first half. It was Gareth Gale beating Foster this time rather than vice versa, and he showed the ball, and he managed to have the legs on James Clare and get over in the corner. I didn't think there was any doubt on that, because he did have a lot of space to utilise there, did Gale, to get over in the corner. So, I mean, he could have passed on the outside to Robinson, but credit to Gale as well. He had the confidence to go himself and go over in the corner for a try on his Featherstone Rovers debut, Joe. And we're right back in this game.
And he's got some speed on him, hasn't he, Gareth Gale? He showed a bit of pace. He showed it in the first half. He almost got away in the first half. Just got ankle tapped. There, he was away, and he showed a clean pair of heels, didn't he, to the Castleford defenders?
Yeah, it was awesome play. I mean, he almost did that in the first half, as we noted. If he went with the ankle tap, he could have had a full-length try in the half, but fair credit to him. He never said that, and he eventually has got over the line for a debut try, and as Rudyard hopefully can slot over a conversion and level things up here. It's anyone's ball game again, we'll say, Joe. It's right back in this, and could be a very tasty game coming up here.
It could. It's not the easiest of conversion attempts for Rudyard. He had one here before in the first half. It's out on this left-hand side. Featherstone Rovers fans cheering their players on. It's just gone in between the sticks as that Rudyard conversion, so that is successful. It brings the scores level once again, 16-all here, all to play for at the Menderhose Jungle.
Yeah, superb. Well, I mean, I would say a superb kick there from Rudyard. It ended up like that. I mean, it ended up a bit low. I personally thought he was going to sail wide again, sail under the post and wide, but now Rudyard, well done to him. He's shown he's capable of kicking them from anywhere, slogging them over, if we can use that word in this sport. But yeah, he's certainly done so again, and it's a level ball game again. So, I mean, very interesting last half hour here, Joe.
It is Jamie Ellis with the kick-off. It's a long, deep one for Featherstone to take, but it is taken well there, and Mariano it is that brings the ball up to the 10-metre line.
Well, at least Featherstone are also good at have dealt with all the kickoffs today. I mean, no disrespect to James Clare story on this, but yeah, that's the good thing with Featherstone. They're showing a lot of composure under these higher balls, because let's face it, Joe, they have been quite spiralling from Jamie Ellis today.
They have. Connor Farrell now with the ball in hand. He takes it over the 20-metre line. He's put to the floor by 3 Castleford players. Wildy waiting at dummy half. He gets it into the middle. It's Sam Brooks who knocks the ball on once again, and Castleford pick it up, and they're in a fortuitous position now as Zenny Lafau, who takes it over the 20-metre line and gets the ball away as well. So 15 metres away, Castleford are tackled, and Brooks just spilling the ball once again there. It's not had the best of afternoons with the ball in hand, has he?
Well, I'll say this quickly, Joe. I mean, I think Ollie Holmes there nearly had a try on there, if it wasn't for Luke Cooper's tackle, because he nearly broke away. I think it was Cooper. No, sorry, it was Knowles, but it was a great tackle on him. But Fev, yeah, great defending again, and even then, Zenny Lafau is dictating play, but Fev's defence is standing strong. Here's hoping we can complete the set here as remain on the attack.
Yeah, Castleford on the attack, and it comes out to that left-hand side. They've got numbers over. Agodu's looking to go towards the line. It's just hold down short. That's great defence by Featherstone just to keep Agodu out. He was inches away from the chalk there. It comes now to Castleford, and they've lost a little bit of ground. Comes back to Corey Aston, who's on the field. Again, another former Featherstonian.
Well, I'll tell you something though, Joe. As the play stops now, because I think that's Brooks who's down receiving treatment. Oh no, I think it's Tom Holmes.
Tom Holmes who's down on the floor, number 7, yeah.
I was going to get on to Tom Holmes there, because, I mean, that tackle he put in on Agoda out there, it was like David against Goliath. How he managed to stop him. I mean, Agoda was running at speed, but Tom Holmes very bravely came in and put in a big tackle on him there to prevent what looked a set and tries. Luke Cooper comes on the field now and Wheeldon's returning too. And as Holmes... recovering from the play there, but well done to Fair, but it's the last tackle, Joe. Can they survive?
So the kick comes in and it's fielded well though by Luke Briscoe, who's again taken a high shot. That's the second high shot of the day that he's taken, Luke Briscoe, and the referee spotted it, penalised it, and Luke Cooper it is who's come on for Sam Brooks.
Well, yeah, I mean, Featherstone, 6th penalty of the day here today, and the fact is there, Joe, I mean, it was a very harsh... It was a harsh challenge, not harsh call, don't worry, Featherstone fans. But yeah, it was an obvious one, I'll say that. And the referee, he has to have a word with a couple of them there, because I mean, we just don't want any more of this. And after all, we've already had a couple of scuffles. And wonder, can Ridyard do it again? The ball's not going to be trapped this time, but. But yeah, Fev come over the halfway line and right back on the attack, and who knows, Joe, we could even gain the lead back here.
Brad Knowles, it was injured. He's the one who's gone off the field. We thought it was number 7. It was actually 17, Brad Knowles, that was down on the floor. So he's the one who's gone off, and Scott Wheeldon's replaced him. And like I say, Luke Cooper has replaced Sam Brooks. So Featherstone with the ball in hand, a couple of metres short of the halfway line. Wildine at dummy half. He comes to Thackeray. Short ball to Wheeldon, but the Castleford players are up on him. Like you say, he's a little bit of a marked man this afternoon, he's Wheeldon, isn't he, in terms of that, and they're pushing back 5 metres.
Well, the way they dealt with him there, you think they'd have wanted signs all around this ground for Scott Wheeldon, because he has. They just, every single time, they just keep marking him. But he's hoping that Fev could utilise that to their effect and catch them off guard, and they might do here.
Holmes to Davis. Davis through and gets tackled 25 metres away from the line. Featherstone creeping forward towards that Castleford line. Wildy going himself from dummy half, just gets hauled down. It's the last tackle, but Castleford should have been penalised there, not letting him up to play the ball. Coming down this right-hand side with Holmes, gets the ball away. It is the last tackle though, and Castleford come up with the ball as Featherstone tried to get rid of it on the last, and so that attack kind of fizzled out for Featherstone. Perhaps a little kick from Holmes would have been better, but they went for the power play, but Castleford have lost the ball. Now it's a knock-on, so Featherstone are going to get the ball back, and look at them sprinting to that scrum, and they're all congratulating each other.
Well, it was brilliant to see that from the players. It was Scott Wheeldon with the big hit, so Scott Wheeldon decided to get a bit even with the Castleford players there. It was his turn to put in a big shot and force an error this time, because he's had it done on him once this game. But yeah, I mean, building up to the play there. I mean, I thought Hardcastle a bit unlucky, but then again, he did try and offload. I think some players there were asking for a penalty for a ball strip, and he was trying to get the ball away. It was the last tackle, of course. The came away with it. But yeah, Fev, they're turning the screw. They're starting to get on top. And as I just said a moment ago, Joe, they could get the lead here as Tom Holmes feeds the scrum.
Yeah, 10 metres away from that Castleford line. Featherstone now. What can they do with the ball? It's Ridyard. Ridyard to Thackeray. He's coming to the line. Thackeray looking to go for the line, but he gets tackled well there by Alex Foster. He's 5 metres out. Robinson in at dummy half. Comes into the middle to Ridyard to Cooper. Cooper straightens up, takes it forward, but is dumped onto his backside, so it's going to be a fairly slow play. The ball is this Wildian at dummy half this time. He takes it forward with Holmes. Holmes to Davis with the run around with Holmes once again. Comes back out. That's a great tackle out there on that left-hand side of defence by Agodu for Castleford. So Featherstone still attempting to get forward with Josh Hardcastle now, a couple of metres out.
Well, it was Martin Ridyard taking in the ball there. He just couldn't get over the line, could he? Because Agoda was in on him, but Fed, they did have the overlap there, but it's still not over yet. They could get over as Mariano takes it in.
Mariano now, and it's the last tackle, so Featherstone going to do something inventive here, I can guess, as it's a slow play the ball though. Wildy to Ridyard. Ridyard just drops it in for Connor Farrell, and Connor Farrell gets over the line. I said they're going to do something inventive. It was pretty straightforward, but it was really effective.
Yeah, awesome player that, Joe. I mean, It was a delicate kick. I think it was Holmes who put in the kick. Very, very good play by the youngster there on his debut. Although he hadn't got over the line himself, he puts in a very delicate grubber kick. And Connor Farrell, it was fairly easy for him in the end there to get over. And Featherstone had the lead back in impressive style. 20 points to 16, Joe. And who knows, could be 22, as you'd assume Ridyard would get this from an easier angle compared to the last one, wouldn't you agree?
Certainly would, and he was successful with that, wasn't he? So Featherstone just getting into the lead once again. We've got 14 minutes remaining in this game.
And there's
24 minutes even. I'm trying to add up now, gosh.
Yeah, it's Boxing Day, Joe. I think we can excuse. But yeah, I mean, as I say, it really is developing into an interesting second half this from Featherstone, and they're doing really well. The attack has been very potent here, and I mean, I think even though Castleford, obviously not the strongest side now, but from here at least, they look a little bit perplexed here. They look by Featherstone really catching them off guard and really giving them something to think about these Castleford players, because they're all playing for a spot in the first team, so they'd like to get a win today. As Ridyard steps up and he does convert rather easily, but as we touch on an issue there, Joe, Castleford, they could make the excuse for saying, oh, weak and sad, but considering what they did last year, they all want a spot in that first team, and so they will be trying the best.
Yep, Castleford Tigers 16, Featherstone Rovers 22. 25 minutes remaining in this half as Jamie Ellis looks to kick off. Featherstone Rovers in the lead. There's some happy Featherstone Rovers fans down to the right-hand side of us here behind those posts. Kick-off comes, it's taken well. Driven forward. So Castleford players in there once again. On that man, Scott Wielden, he's really taken some for the team this afternoon, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, dumped down there. But yeah, it's proving to be, of sorts of valuable asset for Featherstone, because, it was a good run away there from acting out by, I think it was Robinson.
Is it?
I think I've got Robinson.
Is it Robinson, yeah?
Well, yeah, Joe, Wielden, despite having that, as Fev get another penalty now, but yeah, as Wielden, I eventually get this out, as Wielden does take some slack and, some stick for the team there with these big hits. All the credit to him, because it's only one that'll gets him into the game and also diverts attention perhaps away from other players who can utilise the space for great effect as well. And with the penalty, we might just do that now.
Yeah, so Featherstone tapping, taking the tap just inside their own half. Hardcastle though does take it over the halfway line. Wildy in at dummy half. To that man Wielden we've just been talking about. To Mariano. Bursting forward there, and there's been a low shot on Mariano there by Ollie Holmes. One on his old teammate, and referee spotted it, so it's another penalty to Featherstone. Scott Wielden taking it forward. That's a great drive by Wielden, a fully 12 metres forward he takes it, and he's struggling to play the ball, and him and Senny Lefau are having a little bit of a set two. At the play the ball as Luke Cooper takes it forward. He's tackled 5 metres short. He plays the ball quickly. And Featherstone going over the line. They're held up. I think it was Matty Wildy there. He was held up over the line. He was going for a quick scoop from dummy half. He takes it back to the 10 metre line. Featherstone really wanting to win this game. You can tell the tails are up at the moment. Scott Wielden it is who drives it forward towards those posts. He gets tackled a metre short. Wildy to Ridyard. Ridyard holds it up now to Thackeray. Thackeray with one over the top to Robinson. He's just unable to collect it, but I think Castleford have come up with the first knock on because they were trying to intercept. It could have even been an interception, couldn't it, if they'd have taken it. It went to Sean Robinson. He wasn't able to collect it, but Featherstone are going to get the put in at the scrum.
Well, a lot happening in all that, Joe. I'm struggling to keep up because, Wielden with his big hit, the penalty as well, and then, of course, Wielden nearly getting over the line. I thought for all money Wielden was going to score there. He had all that space. I think his mistake was there that he didn't go low. He was a bit too high. He was trying to get over the top of him. Should have just gone low for the line, maybe Wielden there, and he could have got over for a fifth try. And even there, Robinson was unlucky for a debut try because it was 3-on-2. I thought it was a great cut-out pass by Thackeray there, but he took the gamble as well. I think it was a youngster Story again. He took the gamble, went for the intercept, couldn't get away with it, and then Robinson knocked on. But it's not over yet. We could get over the line here as FF come back on the attack.
They certainly do. So Featherstone got it from that scrum. They're now on the second tackle. They're 5 metres away from that line. Wildy in at dummy half. It comes to Holmes. Holmes with a quick ball. Out, and it comes out to that right-hand side. Can they get in this right-hand corner? Castleford defence holds firm. Featherstone trying their best to get over this line at the moment. Thackeray now with the ball. Thackeray brings it on the inside to Tom Holmes. Comes to Hardcastle. Hardcastle's dancing around, not able to get the ball away. He gets put to the floor, and it's actually a knock-on by Josh Hardcastle. He was trying to get the ball away there, and unfortunately has come up with the error, and it's going to be a Castleford put in.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate and very unlucky that, because I thought it was very good play out there. I mean, Tom Holmes switching the direction back out there as well. And the thing is with Featherstone, they've really catching Castleford off guard here, because Castleford's defence, even though they're scrambling over there in the end, but there's a few gaps appearing in that defence as well. So very positive signs for Featherstone. If they're going to do this against even a weakened Super League side, yeah, again, Joe, plenty of positives to come in the season, because the Featherstone are producing some cracking attacking display skills here.
They are. Senny Lefau now with the ball from the base of the scrum, and he gets tackled 15 metres away from his own line, so Castleford having to come from within their own half. That's great defence by Featherstone Rovers. Luke Cooper there dumping the Castleford player onto his backside, so Featherstone looking good in defence. They're looking like they're tenacious. They're really wanting this game, and it's great to see them putting all this effort in. It's that pre-season training, and the kick comes away for Castleford. They're going for a 40-20. I think they might just have got that, have they?
Yeah, an easy 40-20. That was a fantastic kick, I think. It was put in by Corey Aston. It was a superb kick from him, and Fev have got to get back down and got to get set quickly, because remember, it's a tap restart from the 40-20 now, and Cass have just done that, and here they come.
Yeah, it's almost as good as, well, it is as good as any penalty, isn't it, that a 40-20, and they get the tap on the 10-metre line. So Castleford, the game's turned there. Castleford with pressure on that Featherstone line, and Featherstone not got the numbers out there, but the sliding defence does come well, and puts the Castleford player to ground just a metre short of that try line out there on that left-hand side of the Castleford attack. And then I thought it was a knock-on there that Castleford have come up with, but they haven't. Corey Aston now with the ball, and it is a knock-on this time as Corey Aston passes it to Ollie Holmes. Ollie Holmes puts it to the floor, so Featherstone survived that. It was great sliding defence by them out there, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome, Joe. I think that was one of the best defensive parts of the game that we've just seen there, because, I mean, it was 3-on-2.
Yeah.
You could say maybe James Clare held onto the ball a little bit too long there, but the way 3-4 of them out of nowhere in the blink of an eye just came over and prevented what looked a certain try there. So brilliant recovery by Featherstone there to prevent a 40-20, which, with respect, about 80 or 90% of the time a team scores from a 40-20, but not this time there, and that is thanks to superb Featherstone defending, and now Fev can come away with the possession as a reward.
And coming down that blind side as well with Gareth Gale, our Featherstone from that scrum. We've just had a hooker interchange. Wildy's left the field, Keil Carlisle's replaced him. So it is Carlisle in at dummy half. Sean Robinson it is with the ball now. He's such a nuggety player, isn't he? He sort of like bounces people off. He's like a rubber ball as he goes forward. Featherstone really, really looking up for this now. They're really showing some enthusiasm with the ball in hand and in defence. And they're about 15 metres short of that halfway line, trying to play the ball. And the referee says, no, that's a penalty, and they're on a team warning at Castleford now, and quite rightly so. Featherstone are trying to play the ball quickly. It was Luke Briscoe trying to get to his feet to play that ball. Referees had enough. They've just been slowing it down too much, and you'd expect that to be the other way around between a Super League and a Championship side, wouldn't you? You
would, because, I mean, Featherstone, they're much faster side. I mean, the penalty count, I think it's 9-3 if I care to think, and it's quite unbelievable, this, because you can tell the Castleford youngsters, inexperienced, but it's still a Super League setup, and Featherstone, they're just leaving them for dead with some of these players, and as well as that, as the defence, maybe that's just down to enthusiasm, but credit to Featherstone again. They've really caught Castleford unawares today as they come on the attack again, Joe.
With Scott Wheeldon it is, and Danny Maskell's out there for Featherstone Rovers. He's got the black scrum cap on, wearing number 18. So first time for him out there. Featherstone driving it forward, 5 metres away from the line. Looking eager, looking enthusiastic. Carlisle misses Cooper out. Goes to Ridyard, to Connor Farrell, but that's a good tackle by Castleford. It's the last last tackle for Featherstone Rovers to do something with now. What can they do? Carlisle with a little kick through. It's chased. Have Featherstone Rovers got the ball down? The referee says that they have.
And I think it's Luke Cooper.
Luke Cooper scores, yes. Not in the league though. He went all last season without scoring a try, did Luke Cooper, so it's great to see him get over the line, get a try, and hopefully we'll see that try celebration on the social media that he was doing last week practicing. So Featherstone Rovers further extend their lead here at the Menderhose Jungle, and it is Castleford 16, Featherstone Rovers 26.
Well, it's awesome play there. We just said in the build-up, didn't we, Joe, how Featherstone are catching Castleford off guard, and they've done so again because that was a brilliant little kick there put in, and Cooper and Wielden, I mean, any one of the two of them could have scored it because Castleford's defence was in no man's land there for that group, but they just were completely unaware there, and it was a very easy try again, directly behind the person, leaving Ridyard. Well, just to the side of the post, leaving Ridyard a very simple conversion here, which will surely give Featherstone a 12-point lead. And as Fev continue in the ascendancy here against Castleford.
And Joe, it is fully deserved. We were saying how quickly Featherstone have been playing the ball. Castleford on a team warning for slowing it down. You know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff to watch.
It's been brilliant. I mean, the attack from Featherstone today, it's just been sublime. I'll use that word again, sublime, but it really has. And Ridyard slots over the conversion again. But yeah, Fev, I think they could keep this. They don't even look like they're going to tire Featherstone. They look really up for this, and I think they're actually going to finish the full 80 minutes as perhaps the more energetic team here as the Fev fans towards our right-hand side are really getting behind them now, Joe.
Yeah, listen to that Rovers chanting going on. It's great to hear it at Castleford, and James, the kick's going to come from Jamie Ellis. He puts it high up. It's taken well, though, once again by Tom Holmes, driven forward by Scott Wielden. It's a carbon copy of the last one. But yeah, Featherstone, I think a message should go out to Greg Stebbins there, the strength and conditioning coach there at Featherstone Rovers. The way that he's got this team fit, they're looking good, they're looking eager, they're looking fit out there. You know, we've got 15 minutes left in this game, and Featherstone definitely looking the team that's wanting it more at the moment, as they're leading by 28 points to 16.
Yeah, oh, and there's Luke Cooper again. He wants another one. Look at him go. That's a very good run again. And yeah, again, Featherstone, they're still on top here. That's only the fourth, and they're over the halfway line. So, and it could have been a penalty that because it was interference there afterwards. But Fev, they're coming down this side, and Castleford, they're looking a very tired side here, unless I've just put the mocker on Featherstone again there. But no, they are looking tired, and Fev on the attack again. Here, Joe.
Crackery with a kick on the last, goes over the top, just floats in straight into touch. So the ball's going to be brought back for the turnover because it was the last tackle when he put that kick in, Anthony Thackeray. Just a little bit of a mistake there. He was trying to float it over the top, put it into touch, do a little bit of game management, but unfortunately that's not come off. So Castleford going to play the ball 30 metres out from their own line, as Story is, I think, that's bringing it forward there for Castleford.
Yeah, a bit of controversy there in that hit-up because he collided with another Castleford player who actually blocked Scott Wielden from putting in a proper tackle. Yeah, I mean, they didn't get anywhere. There was no advantage made, but that's all I say. A bit of a lack of communication perhaps from Castleford. The way they come on the attack now as they look for a way back into this. But yeah, once again, even there, Joe, that's great sliding defence once again. Hopefully Fev can keep this up for the remainder of this game.
Tom Holmes it was that came in with that tackle. It was a good tackle. Comes now into the middle. Castleford a little bit slow on the feet at the moment with the ball in hand. Featherstone defence are in there, but Castleford about 30 metres away from that Featherstone line. It's driven in now, this time by Will Maher. Last tackle 15 metres away from the try line. Castleford, as it comes to that man Ellis, who puts a little kick up in the field. It's a high one. It's not going to be a try. Story thought that he'd scored, but it's a knock on by Castleford, so it's going to be a turnover, and Featherstone are going to play the ball on their own 10-metre line.
Yeah, I think it was James Clare there. He tried to flip the ball back into the path of Foster. He knocked it forward, I think, onto Gareth Gale and Robinson in there as well. I mean, Story thought he was going to get his first try in Castleford colours there, but sadly for him, not, and Featherstone, a reward for their hard work in defence there, come away with possession once again as they look to close out the game.
Yeah, 20 metres away from their own line there, and Featherstone bringing it forward. That's a good drive forward. quick play the ball once again, and Luke Briscoe in at dummy half. He gets it away to John Davis. Featherstone looking to give this ball some air to Connor Farrell. Farrell gets over the halfway line. Castleford in with the tackle though.
Yeah, it was very good bit of play there. Luke Briscoe getting a very good offload away, and Davis now I know Featherstone could be away again, Joe? Oh no, but it could have also been a high shot that as well there.
Yeah, I don't think the Featherstone players like that. There's a little bit of scuffle going on in back play between Senny Lefau and Scott Wheeldon.
Yeah, well, Wheeldon didn't like the attention there as well. I mean, as I say, it was controversial. The referee allowed it to go. He might give a penalty here, you never know, but and there could be a sim-in, as we say, because team warning earlier, and I don't think we've gone past that point yet.
We haven't. I'm not sure if that's why the referee didn't do anything there or not, because he kind of, I think it was one of those where he thought, you know, I could perhaps let it go, but then Scott Wheeldon wasn't very happy with it whatsoever, and that's how the scuffle ensued. It was supposed to be the last tackle for Featherstone Rovers that we were going to see there, with Tom Holmes about to play the ball, but we'll see what happens. The referee's just having a chat with his fellow officials on the field. It is a penalty to Featherstone. So are they not still on a team warning?
No, well, it was for a head.
Obviously not.
Yeah, it was interference is given it for a push, and Featherstone 10 penalties. I think that's compared to Castleford's 3. I mean, that's quite unbelievable stuff. That, but yeah. Even then, Castleford's indiscipline for them is a factor. For Fev, not so much. Well, not at all, because 3 penalties. Penalties we conceded first half. Well, I think we've got a knock on there, or have we? No, the referee I think has missed that.
Danny Maskell it was with the ball, 15 metres away from the line. Is that Sam Brooks, I think, that's taking it forward, and gets tackled 10 metres out. Keil Carlisle now to Tom Holmes. Tom Holmes to Thackeray. Thackeray to Hardcastle. Hardcastle's going for the line. Hardcastle's over in that right-hand corner for Featherstone Rovers. And easy shouted by those Featherstone Rovers fans beneath us here, and it is at the moment, Joe, isn't it?
Oh, it's awesome play that. I mentioned a bit of controversy in back play, but take nothing away from that. That was just superb rugby league on show there. I mean, it was out of the top draw, Joe, because I mean, from Carlisle, Ridyard, Holmes are all involved there, and they allowed Hardcastle to just dive over in the right-hand corner. He had to beat one defender first, but I mean, that was great strength by him too, and that could have won the game here for Featherstone, although still quite a bit of time left, but that was awesome play. And Fev now 32-16 ahead, 4 tries to nothing. This second half, it's just been top class from Featherstone.
It has. It's been top draw stuff in this second half. You know, they obviously had quite a few chats in the half-time dressing room. There was nothing major that they needed to sort out, but this second half they've come out on fire. They've come out with fire in their bellies, and they're really putting Castleford to the sword here.
Well, I mean, they are, Joe, because it's like Castleford. They look either they're very tired or they're just uninterested. But I mean, because the only one interested for them at the minute, I would say, is Senny Lefau. He's the passionate figure, maybe Jamie Ellis, but apart from that, Featherstone have just really got into their faces, especially in this second half. They've just got in their faces. And yeah, I mean, I think they really have surprised Castleford here. So Castleford, even though they are a bit weakened, Featherstone are giving them a lesson of humility as Ridyard attempts to convert. I don't know if that's gone over, has it, Joe? No, just short, pulled up short there, did Ridyard's conversion attempt, so... But yeah, Joe, I mean, but even though 32-16, Featherstone have really given them a lesson of humility today, even if Castleford have got a weak inside out, because, I mean, in the second half, Castleford, they've just, they've looked a complete shadow of what they were first half. Without a doubt, that is down to Featherstone's resilience. It
is, and don't think James Green's out there. I think he was an influential figure for Castleford in that first half. It's a short kick-off that they're attempting Castleford here, but it's taken well. Everything's going Featherstone's way at the moment. That was a great take. It was. As the ball's played, it was Ridyard that took that ball under a lot of Castleford pressure.
Yeah, he did very well there because he had Senny Lefau breathing down his neck there for the ball. But yeah, Ridyard did very well, even turning his back as well, so he wouldn't cop a big hit or anything like that. So yeah, Featherstone, it's still going. It's all going Featherstone's way so far as we enter the last 9 minutes.
Just inside the Featherstone half, they are Featherstone at the moment, but they get through into the Castleford half with Sam Brooks. It is the last tackle, though. They're 40 metres away from the line, and Ridyard's going to put a kick through. It's a decent kick. It's taken, though. Just trying to see who it was who took it there. Callum Turner it was that took it for Castleford behind his own line. He perhaps could have let that go dead, but he didn't. Well, Featherstone defence up. It probably would have been better for him if it had gone dead, but he took it.
Bit of enthusiasm from him, Joe. I think he just wanted a touch, didn't he, to get involved into the action. But Castleford now, I think they're starting to throw the ball around a bit here. But once again, great defending by Featherstone to keep them penned down in their own danger zone there.
Holmes and Davis it was that was doing that great defence on the Castleford player. So Featherstone won't want Castleford to score any points more in this game. They'll be keen to keep them out now as it comes to Alex Foster. And they get the ball away to Castleford, and they're in some open space here as they take it forward. Not sure, that's a trip, I think, by Anthony Thackeray. Not sure if the referee saw it or not. No, he's not. I thought that was a chip by Thackeray. Maybe he had. No, he says that he had his hand on him, so it's the last tackle. The ball's coming over to the left-hand side. That's a poor kick, though, by Castleford, by Corey Aston. He put the kick over, it's gone into touch, and I think what he was trying to do was put the kick out to the winger there, but it wasn't the best, and perhaps Featherstone were let off a little bit. It did look a suspect trip by Anthony Thackeray, but I think if you have your hand on the player, it's not actually a trip.
Well, I think Thackeray's footing was lost there. I mean, it wasn't like football where he just stuck out his foot. Thackeray was caught off guard, but it involved some controversy there. So perhaps he's fortunate, I think, to not be penalised there, because I mean, they had Featherstone open up down here. Yeah, it's fair because Featherstone had closed out any danger regardless. But it was controversial. Thackeray now, I think, could have turned into some kind of pantomime villain here amongst the locals after that as he took that ball in.
Well, he is a former Castleford player as well, isn't he? So he's probably not the most. They don't like players coming back down here and playing well against them, do they, at Castleford? So Connor Farrell now takes the ball forward. Featherstone in the Castleford half once again. 32 points to 16, they're leading. 6.5 minutes left in this game as it's the last tackle. Ridyard with a little kick, he's going to drill that into touch. That's good play by Ridyard, eating up the clock. It's going to be a scrum to Castleford on their own 10-metre line.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just it's wise play that from Ridyard, just giving the players a rest. Well, all of them, I think, because Castleford aren't rushing to this scrum at all. So
you're right there.
It is just giving them all a rest there, Joe. And I mean, Featherstone looking to close out this game. Cass, no doubt, will throw the ball around again this set. Hopefully, no tripping incidents will happen here, but we're about to find out.
Yeah, so Story now with the ball. That's great tackling by John Davis. In on Story on the 10-metre line. So Featherstone. Danny Maskell was in there with that tackle as well, so good play by Featherstone as Castleford get a penalty though. I think there's been the ball was reefed out. Josh Hardcastle had the ball in hand. I think he thought he was going to go in for a try, but it's been deemed that the ball was reefed out, so it is a penalty to Cass.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got that one right as well. Hardcastle thought he was going to race him for his second try, sadly not to be, but yeah, a relieving penalty for Cass that, because I mean, yeah, again, Featherstone's defence was looking very solid there, and I mean, even then the ball came loose as well. But 5 minutes to go. Let's see if Featherstone can really weather the storm here.
Yeah, there's about 30 metres away from that Featherstone line of Castleford, and ball in hand. They've got a few tackles in the bag in this set of 6 as it comes into the middle of the field, and they get the ball away, and this looks dangerous. But the ball's not able to be taken by Story. It's put to ground. It was a good run through by Callum Turner. He's stamping his foot on the ground with frustration. He'd ran onto the ball well. He'd ran on an angle, was able to get through the Featherstone defence and tried to get it away to Story. Wasn't able to take the ball cleanly, and Featherstone come up with the ball with a scrum on the 10-metre line. Yeah,
once again, I mean, they did open up Fev there, but it was great sliding defence again, and that has been Featherstone's positive, and, it's how they've won the game today, Joe. I mean, the defence, it's been fantastic this second half. I mean, true, Castleford I think Castleford have taken their foot off the gas as well, but really, I mean, Featherstone's defence has solided up this second half, and they could keep a clean sheet in this half. I mean, they're good money for it, and with only 4 minutes to go, they're looking good money for it, and who knows, they could even extend their lead with a late swing here. Could be a late try, who knows.
John Davis has left the field, and it's Frankie Mariano who's replaced him just for these last 3 minutes. He's had a good game as John Davis. He's been in the wars a little bit, but is defensively as well. I've been quite impressed with Davis, and that's a penalty for Featherstone Rovers. High tackle on Mariano.
I think the penalty count this half, Joe. I think that's
I've lost count.
7 or 8 nil
Yeah.
in favour. I mean, even then, that's incredible. Featherstone, it's great discipline. They've not conceded a penalty this half. Or I think they did concede one earlier.
One,
but
maybe, yeah.
That's incredible. But still, now Cass have conceded about 8 or 9. I mean, in this half. I mean, it's poor discipline for a Super League side. So I mean, but Fev we'll take what we get. Hopefully, we can finish with a flourish here.
I think it shows who's perhaps been the most eager, caused the most problems, and that's been Featherstone. You know, they've had fire in their bellies. So anyway, they're coming forward now with Connor Farrell. He's 10 metres away from that Castleford try line. Can Featherstone finish this game off with a flourish with some points? Ridyard coming into the action. It comes off a Castleford player and goes down to the floor. And the referee's going to call it back for a knock-on. Castleford thought they were away. Not sure why the Castleford fans are booing. It was quite clearly put to the floor by the Castleford player. It's going to be a scrum to Featherstone on the 10. 2 minutes 42 seconds left in this game. Plenty of time. Let's have some more points, lads.
Oh, definitely. I mean, let's really rub salt into the wounds here for Castleford, because I mean, Featherstone, even then, if that ball wasn't knocked down, Joe, I think that was it could have been a walking try there for Sean Robinson. But that try, it's still just evading him, isn't it? I hope he doesn't come away with too much disappointment off his face today that he's been so close to more than one try, but still not ended up over the line. But who knows? He could do here, or anyone else could. We're about to find out, Joe.
Yeah, the ball comes forward now. It's driven towards those posts by Brad Knowles. Carlisle in at dummy half, and he gives it to Mariano, who's looking to force his way over. He gets held up, though. Yeah, Castleford player underneath him.
It was very close, because I thought I saw the ball touch the ground there, but no, I mean, I think it was a loose arm, just got underneath that Mariano. Yeah, it was Senny Lefau, and that's why I think he's felt the full brunt of that as Senny Lefau getting up
big
gingerly
lad is
there.
Mariano.
Yeah.
Carlisle now gets the ball to Ridyard. Ridyard on the return to Sam Brooks. Brooks driving towards those posts. He's got 3 Castleford players in attention on him, and Carlisle in at dummy half. Coming out to the left-hand side with Ridyard. Ridyard shows it, gives it to Farrell, but Farrell's wrapped up just almost as he takes the ball there, and it's the last tackle. So Farrell's going to get to his feet, play the ball. Carlisle back to Ridyard. Ridyard to Holmes. Holmes takes it across the face of the defence, and he puts the kick in, but Castleford take it with a go-do, and he shrugs off the Featherstone defenders. He does well because they were looking to force a dropout, and he does a quick play the ball, and that's good Featherstone defence once again to keep him out. And Senny Lefau now takes it forward for Castleford over their own 20-metre line.
Well, I must say quickly, Joe, there was a bit of argy-bargy in back play with a Godo, and I think it was Mariano as well following that big hit. But no, looks like Fev are going to keep a clean sheet as Cass will go for one last hurrah here. But look at that, even there, Joe. Solid defence again. Oh, they just get it away.
They do get it away, but yeah, that Featherstone defence, it's definitely showed tenacity this second half, hasn't it? And it's the last tackle, and Castleford deep in their own half. They've not made many metres forward. It's a decent kick there, though, by Castleford. They put a ball over the top. They were trying to say with Castleford that there was the man taken out after he'd kicked the ball, but it wasn't really. It was all in the act of doing it, and Gareth Gale now takes it into the Castleford half. 5 seconds left on the clock. Featherstone going to win this GMB trophy here this afternoon at the Menderhose Jungle. Featherstone Rovers beating Castleford Tigers by 32 points to 16. They're going to lift the GMB trophy on this Boxing Day derby. A very well-rounded performance there by Featherstone Rovers. Tenacity in attack and in defence. That pre-season work that they've been doing, it's paid off for them. They've showed the intensity. The coaching staff must be very pleased, and the players must be very pleased with the performance they've put in this afternoon, especially in that second half. They've been by far the better team. It was a try by Gareth Gale in that second half that set things off. A wonderful try it was. Showed his pace to sprint 30-40 metres to that try line to score. That levelled things up. Connor Farrell then went in for a try to put Featherstone back into the lead in this game, which Ridyard converted. Luke Cooper then got over the line. Ridyard converted that, and then we finished up with that Josh Hardcastle try. As a Featherstone fan, it's been wonderful to see this afternoon. They've got some more games, pre-season games, down at the LD Nutrition Stadium at Featherstone Rovers. Before the league starts on the 4th of February, they've got some decent games coming up to test themselves further. If you're a Featherstone fan, I would urge you to get down to LD Nutrition. It's been great to see this performance this afternoon, hasn't it, Joe?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, a brilliant performance by Featherstone today. And once again, sir, before anyone contradicts me on this, yes, Castleford have a weakened side, we know that, but I mean, for a team that dominated Super League and the setup they'll have here as a result of that, under Darryl Powell, what Featherstone were up against here, it was a fantastic performance from them all round, and yeah, I mean, and they're loving it, the players there. They're
I'm going to say, just look down there, the Featherstone row, Ridyard in the middle, all hugging each other, all in a huddle. The team spirit in this team this year, you can tell when you're going down into the pre-season, just the buzz around the club, you can tell that they're a unit that are together, and you could tell that out on the park today. They're all playing for each other. I'm excited about this season coming ahead. Perhaps I'm just getting a little bit too excited now, but I am, and I can't stop that. So as the Featherstone Rovers players go over there to clap the Rovers supporters, they've all liked what they've seen this afternoon too, and I'm sure that they've said, you know, it's been worth the effort coming out on Boxing Day to watch this game. We've all missed our rugby in the off-season, and it's good to have it back.
Well, it has been, Joe, definitely. I mean, you can see the excitement over there. It's brilliant team performance again. And yeah, definitely we've got a lot more excitement to look forward to in the pre-season than the season itself, because we'll need some more of this, going by our very tough start as well, Joe. So, I mean, yeah, very positive signs ahead for Featherstone under this new setup with John Duffy and crew, and very exciting times ahead for the club.
It certainly is. So we're going to go to the media room now, see what the coaches have to say about this performance, about both performances, and that'll be up on Rovers TV this week. So thank you for listening to us this afternoon, to Joe and Joe, really. So thank you for joining me as well, Joe, on commentary, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks down at the LD Nutrition Stadium.
It was a pleasure, Joe, and thank you all for listening as well.